Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Allison Cooper, the CEO of Influencer Secrets Academy, and I am so excited. I am here today with AnnMarie and Anne from Simply2Moms, and they are our influencer experts. They are going to weigh in on all of your burning questions about what it's like to work in the space. And I'm just going to turn it over to you guys. Share a little bit about yourselves and what you do.
All right. Sure. Yeah. Thanks so much for having us. We're excited to be a part of this group. So do you want to go ahead and get started?
Sure. I'm AnnMarie, and we started, this is Anne, and we started Simply2Moms back in 2018. We are neighbors and friends. We live across the street from each other. And we went on this journey after raising our kids. Our kids were still in high school age and college age when we started doing this together. And it just grew. It was a crazy adventure, but we worked together a little bit previously, PTA and PTOs or whatever, doing things like that and volunteer work together. So we knew we worked well together.
Right.
But we were both looking for something else to do as the kids were starting to grow.
Yeah. And my husband, his big joke was I couldn't be a stay-at-home mom anymore when the kids were gone. I was like, well, shoot, can't I just be a stay-at-home mom? Or, he wasn't going to go for that. So we decided to give this a go so that we could still be creative, still be flexible with our time. Because the kids, even when they're teens and in high school, they still needed us, right? Like there was still some driving around and just different things that they needed us for. And we just wanted to see, could this work? We had a couple of years to sort of give it time because this stuff does not happen immediately, right? You go on Pinterest and you see these, how I made $10,000 a month in my blog in 6 months. I'm like, did you really?
Right.
Did you really?
Yeah.
It all, I think, is a long game kind of a thing. So, it gave us some time. The first year, I think we made $30, and we were really excited about it. And the second year it was a couple hundred, and the third year was 5 figures, and then it's just been ramping up. And last year was our first, 2 years ago was our first 6-figure year. And it just keeps growing and scaling from there. So
love it. That is an incredible journey.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. So I'm just going to dive into all these questions and we'll just kind of tick right through them. So first, what do you feel is the biggest contributing factor to your growth?
Consistency.
Yeah,
definitely consistency. If we're talking about Instagram, it's just showing up every day, posting every day.
Yeah.
So we launched our website. We really started as bloggers. Back, like we said, in 2018, but we did all the social things. You have to do all the social platforms and the things that go along with blogging. And then we had a post that went viral on Instagram, and that just catapulted us on that platform. And we kind of went with it.
Yeah.
We kind of follow the dollar signs.
Right.
So
because before that, we had a couple of pins go viral that launched that's what got our website making money.
Right.
And that got us into Mediavine within, I think, the first 18 months.
Yep.
And so that was where our focus was. And like AnnMarie said, like consistency on Instagram is important, but consistency everywhere is important, right? You need to be consistent with publishing on your website. You need to be consistent with pinning on Pinterest. Show up in all of the places that your followers and your readers are. Consistent with your emails. Like if you grow an email list, you need to be making sure that you're emailing
Sending
them.
something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And figure out what that email strategy looks like. Like, is your goal with your emails to drive traffic to your website? Okay, then you train your subscribers to be clicking through to your website. Or is it to shop from you? Then you train them to click through your affiliate links. Or is it going to be both? Because it can be both, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, consistency though. It's
Awesome. Yeah, agree. Well, one word I would say that stands out to me there, other than consistency, is viral. So let's just jump to that question. How do you handle viral posts?
we get excited.
All right.
They're like, oh my God, do you see this? It's growing, it's growing. And viral on Instagram used to be pretty immediate. And now we're finding that something could go viral several days after, even a week after you're posting.
Yeah.
So make sure you're looking back at those posts and engaging and commenting on all the comments, comment back on the comments that you receive from people. Because you just never know.
Right. And like, what tends to launch a post into that virality, it is engagement, right? So don't just leave those comments hanging. Even if, let's say you've got something that doesn't have a lot of views initially, getting those comment replies and replying with a question. Like, we do it sometimes. We don't do it all the time, but I know that is something that can, if you reply with a question, that they'll then maybe engage back to you, and then you can engage back to them. That's just telling the algorithm, hey, there's some valuable content that's going on here, and it'll push it out to some more people. So
do you do anything to repurpose the content like immediately when you see it going viral so that you can kind of keep that virality going?
Not usually. I mean, we do cross post. Almost all of our content gets cross posted to other platforms, but we change it up a little bit for each individual platform. But if something goes viral, we definitely will reinvent. We don't want to reinvent the wheel, so we will do another post, whether it's the same thing again with different music, whether it's a different text layover, or it could just be a little bit of a tweak of the speed of that post. So like, we definitely look at it and try to go ride that wave.
Right.
As long as we
Exactly. And so one of the things that we did when that first post went viral, and when I say viral, I mean, we're talking, it hit 26 million views. Like, it was insane. We could not keep up with it. When at that point in time, we were at 19,000 followers when you posted that, and had been languishing there for probably 2 years.
Yeah.
And that happened, and it just was this snowball effect of getting followers from that. But then within a week of that happening, we posted a new introduction reel, hey, there's all these new followers. And we made sure that introduction reel was really them focused and not us focused. I think a lot of times as influencers, we can sometimes get stuck in the mindset of it being about us. And it's not about us. It's never about us, right? I mean, yes.
You need to serve your community. You need to serve that audience.
Yeah, like, we might be the face behind it, but it's about them, right? If you're not serving the audience, then what are you doing, right? You're just, So we kind of flipped the script on an intro reel that we had done in the past. And instead of it being, hi, we're AnnMarie and Anne, and this is what we do, we did it, hey, do you do this? Do you like this? Does this sound like you? And just made it
that tiny little tweak. And made such a difference.
And really used a lot of the same footage and clips that we had used in our first intro reel. Well, that reel, it didn't go viral in the sense of millions of views. It hit about 600,000 views, but it converted almost 10% to
Right.
followers. So it was sort of what viral is can be different,
Absolutely.
right? Like sometimes viral converts sales, which is what the first reel did. And it definitely converted followers. I think that was like 38,000 followers. But then the second one converted followers, which again, then you can there are people that you can sell to, right? And
Absolutely. I love that tip of doing that intro reel. Once you see something going viral, to kind of get in there and like make sure that these people stick instead of just bouncing away. I love that. That's a really, really great tip. So when you have a post that's going viral like that, right, and you're getting tons and tons of comments, how do you handle it when you have negative ones?
we laugh. We pin them. I mean, like that post, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that
like,
one was really controversial. And we continue to post it over and over again.
and we laugh.
And
people
because
get
people are
so
really
pissed off about what it is.
What was the topic?
It was an outdoor TV cover. It's a big, ugly plastic cover that goes over your TV.
Okay.
You know, Anne's husband built this beautiful wood one, but I bought this plastic one off of Amazon because whatever. And yeah, it went viral. People like their outdoor TVs,
or they
hate
hate
them,
it.
and
You had all the opinions.
I mean, how can you do that?
Can't you listening to
Can't
the
you
birds?
just sit outside? Why do you need TVs? Oh, I bet your neighbors hate you. I mean, like people had intensely strong opinions.
Absolutely.
But then what that happened, like I think at that point in time, you could pin 3 comments instead of just one. We were pinning them. And then you had people jumping in and, okay, Karen, you know, can't they just do it? Then there's this whole back and forth. And we're like, bring it on.
Yeah.
Bring
and
it on.
Because it's that kind of engagement on them. Almost 2 years later. It's still
engagement is engagement, right?
And that's the thing. Like we don't intentionally post things that are controversial, but we don't shy away from them. Like, you know, at first I was like, oh my gosh, like these people are like really angry with me. Maybe I shouldn't post something like that. And then we were like, no, like let them be angry because look at what it's doing to this post. So
it's it to your advantage. I love that.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So when it comes to planning your content, okay, so do you have a posting schedule? How are you keeping everything organized, especially since there's 2 of you behind your account? What are your organizational tips?
Yeah, we do have a posting schedule.
There we go.
So this is what we just started this past year or this year when we went away for a planning.
This was the first year we've done some retreats and some mastermind things that are run by other people, but this was the first time just Anne and I and our VA went away, got an Airbnb and planned for the week, you know, for the coming year, which was really good. I would recommend that to anybody, just that get out of your house. You know, if you work from home, it's just hard to focus and concentrate, and a dog always needs to go out, a kid always is calling or texting, you know, whatever.
A husband's wondering what's for dinner because you know,
Yeah.
forbid.
Yeah.
You know,
so it really helped us focus, and we're like,
you suggested
okay,
that.
like, let's just get a big, like, we don't need to bring a whiteboard with us, but let's just get one of the big desk blotter calendars so we can start like jotting down notes and whatever. So, because we use our phones, right? We use our phones for most everything. So we did that. We also use Google Calendar so that we're both on there. With 2 of us, we take turns posting. So we say post every day. We know that it's a little bit easier for us as a duo, right? To do that. But we do post every other day. So we take turns doing that, which does help.
Yeah.
But I do have to say the consistency that's key. I think that's what helped us go viral. Was posting. I mean, we made a pact that we were going to post every day for 90 days. And we got almost to 90 days and we were not seeing anything. And I was like, and this is a waste. Like, what are we doing? Like, we're killing ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, this is not working, blah, blah, blah. She's like, well, do you want to give up? I'm like, nope.
Because I was ready. Because I was like, okay, if AnnMarie is going to say, yeah, we're done, then I can be done too. And no, we stuck with it.
For the 90 days. And then that's when that post went viral and
Right.
everything changed. But yeah, I think Google Calendar is really helpful for us to put those posts in place.
Yeah.
And then we do seasonal thing. Like we go with what's seasonal. We do a lot of stuff for back to college.
Okay.
So we do a lot of college posts. So that's going to be ramping up now, right?
Right.
Graduations. And we're starting to get ready to get their firstborns or their first college kid off to campus. So
because once you've done it once, you don't need us again. Like you get it figured out. But first time college parents, like you're scared, right? Like that, oh my gosh, my baby's leaving. Life is going to be, they're never coming back. So we try to hold their hand through the process. And
that's a majority of our audience is
primarily
it's
those, that Gen X. So it tends to be late 40s up to mid 60s is really where our people are. And so now we're at a point where we've had 2 weddings last year. We've got a grandbaby. He has a grandbaby coming.
Oh, congratulations.
2 more weeks.
I've got another wedding coming up in September. So now like some of our content is shifting gears and it's just embracing the empty nest and embracing all of the things that come now in this new stage of our lives. And so it's fun to just bring people along with us. And
in that, a lot of experts will tell you niche down, pick a niche. And definitely, if you can, it's the way to go. You're going to grow much faster. And I think that our audience is confused, right? Like we went viral over a TV cover by Back Deck.
Yeah.
And here we are, moms who are sharing healthy recipes, DIY and decor, and then started getting into the back to college things. So when we started this, it was about us and our life and what we were doing. Because that's what's easiest. So if we were making over our laundry rooms, that's the content we were sharing. So it's definitely a true lifestyle blog, and it's evolved and grown with us.
Right.
And then when we try to niche down into something,
we get pushback. We get pushback from our followers who are like, but what about this? And we love it when you shared this. So
we've kind of kept it to everything.
We're empty nest bloggers is really what it's become. Right. And empty nest can encompass a lot of things, figuring out what that second act looks like.
I love that. I can relate to that because I am like, I know you get all the advice. I can't do it because like I have, I've got motherhood, fashion, wellness. That's like what I cover. And like, those are my things, like how I invest my time and my energy in my daily life. And it's really hard sometimes. I have on that. But like you guys said, your followers have been with you and they're growing with you. So that's, the beauty of it. And it works for you. And that's a huge chunk of it. You have to figure out what works.
Right.
So I love that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So going back to like content planning.
Yes.
You guys plan like a quarterly, yearly. I'm a huge planner, so I always am so curious to hear how others are doing it.
Yeah. So we have tended to be a little fly by the seat of our pants, and it has been a stress point for both of us. So this was the year that was one of the reasons that we went away, was so that we could get more on top of that content planning. Part of it is like, we know now that you do your gift guides and that type of content, you want to be about a month and a half before, except Christmas, you want to be October. So we put those kinds of things in, and we don't drill down to the day, but we have
Like a month.
we have a monthly topic calendar that
Okay.
we can pull from. And so that monthly topic calendar has everything from, okay, we want to make sure that we hit this content pillar. We want to make sure that these are products that make sense to promote this time of year.
Right.
And then we would like to then be more specific with that, because it does make it easier when you.
Absolutely. And I think with two of us, it's a little easier to
Mhm.
kind of fly by the seat of your pants, because it's like, okay, I have today off. It's Anne's posting
Mhm.
day. So let me think about what I want to post tomorrow. So I have time to think about it and whatever and pull. But when we obviously have that rough idea of the monthly plan, but we do plug in the brand collaborations, the things that have to get done that month. You know, graduation season's coming up, so we're going to start sharing that kind of stuff, and then be following that up with the college stuff, but also mixed in there, all the brands. So the first thing we plug into the calendar is the brand collaborations. And then we plug in the seasonal things, and then go in with some of that evergreen content.
Right. And sometimes, like the brand collaborations, you don't always know what they're going to be far out in advance. So we've committed to leaving 2 days a week as being brand collab days. So as a collaboration, you know, it can take forever sometimes for a brand to get something approved, depending on, you know, the size of the brand. So then we can say, once it gets approved, all right, we can post that on such and such day, unless they have a strict deadline. And then obviously you do what the brand wants you to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was muting myself there. I have a barking dog behind.
Yeah.
So I guess to piggyback on all of that, how are you, other than like plugging in, you know, your seasonal things, you've got your brand collabs, what are you determining what to post for your just everyday organic content? Are you doing SEO research for the blog, or how are you, you know, how are you doing that?
Yeah.
Honestly, we do based on what we're blogging about. We do a lot of it, what we're doing at that point in time. So if we are planning a wedding or doing those kinds of things, whatever's going on in our life at that moment, because it feels organic and natural to be sharing that with our audience, because we're getting on there and sharing our day-to-day life and stories, which is another key thing to growing, is getting on there and talking to your audience. But I think sometimes our posts tend to go along with what we're doing at that time.
Yeah. And at any blog post, we definitely do SEO research beforehand. We did not used to. We tended to just post about what was going on. And then we worked with a coach last year, and she really, we kept talking about how we don't have enough time to do this and that and the other thing. She said, well, what's the search volume on that? We hadn't really paid attention to that. And she's like, all right, well, if the search volume is only this, why are you even spending time writing that post? And it was
eye-opening.
It was an eye-opening thing where, again, treating what we do like a business. And I think before that mentality, it was, we would keyword research so that whatever it was that we were writing about had good keywords, but didn't really pay attention to the search volume on those particular keywords to the point of being like, well, we're not writing about this if there's not good
Right.
search volume.
Yeah. So go ahead. I was just going to ask what tool. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah,
No. For everybody tuning in, I think that's going to be a question. What tool do you
use? Mangools. Mangools, Mangools.
Okay.
And it was one that we hadn't heard of. It is very affordable. I think it's only $250-ish a year.
All right, I'm taking note because I pay way too much.
Yeah, I mean, because there are a lot that are out there. And this was the one that was recommended by our coach because not only does it show search volume, it also shows trends so that you can see whether or not how that search is trending. So, the search volume might have been this, but it's trending upward. And so then that can help you to see, okay, maybe it's only here right now, but if it's trending upward, let's hop on that early and ride that wave.
Yeah. Love it.
Beginning. So, yeah.
Do you use a different tool for social?
We really don't. We don't worry about it.
Yeah, do your thing now.
So social is really, it's primarily a mix of things that we are promoting product wise, content ideas that we're promoting. We look for trends. You're so much better at that than I am. Like, I think you're a better consumer of social media. And so,
yeah. So if there's a trend, we'll try to hop on that and do. Yeah.
Right.
But it's definitely a combination of it all. And this year we're focusing on cleaning up our blog for all those blog posts that we've written that have not performed well. And then we'll be sharing, sharing that a bit in socials as well to kind of reignite those blog posts to try to get some traffic there as well.
Yeah,
I love that. I feel like I could do a whole masterclass like just on blogging because I'm like OG blogger. I've been doing it since 2010 and I'm like all into. And as we speak, my website is being completely revamped.
So that's exciting.
I'm peeking at it behind the scenes, but that's like they say sometimes, you look at the amount of followers that somebody has and it doesn't always translate to this is how much money they're making. And I always encourage everybody, I'm like, have a blog because we saw what happened with TikTok. I know it went away and came right back, but you just never know.
And grow that email list, right? Because again,
your website and your email lists are the only two things you truly own. Right. So
love it. Yeah. Because we were hit by the March 2024 helpful content update with Google. So we saw we weren't hit as bad as some, but our traffic probably is half. No, maybe 30% loss from where it was before that. And so that affected that, the ad revenue. But fortunately, I know this is why we say it's really important to diversify your income streams so that you're not just making all of your money from one point. So you want your ad revenue, you want your brand sponsorships, and then you want your affiliate income. Someday, maybe we'll do merch.
You never know what the future.
You never know. Yeah, digital products. So those are things that are in our to-do, but they just haven't happened yet. But yeah,
I definitely had a question on my list about diversifying income streams. So what I guess would you say is your favorite way to handle that? Or how do you, I know you just explained a little bit, but
my favorite is whatever makes money with the least amount of work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But it all takes organization
time.
and work, and we're learning that. And you have to maybe look outside of yourself and hire some people to help. And I think Anne and I, we've had a lot of friends, other influencers who are like, you're so lucky, you guys have each other. But there's only so much you can do, just the two of us. Like on a daily, we're like, oh my gosh, there's too much work. We need to hire somebody. We definitely hired kids. We have our kids working for us at times. And we have a VA who's worked for us for about a year.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, you kind of have to start, we just hired somebody to help with our Pinterest. Because we just didn't have the time to get there, when you have that daily checklist. And I think once we committed to posting daily on Instagram and then cross posting all of those, and then the affiliate income was amping up, and we got into the Amazon influencer program. We needed to spend more time there. And you just don't have time to do it all. So you have to get the help that you need.
Yeah. So that you can hit the sales goals.
Yeah.
So that's sort of directed some of, but those bonuses are really nice. So, I read a book or listened to a book. I loved listening to audiobooks, and it was called Who Not How. And if you are looking to grow a business, the reality is that you only have so many hours in a day, and you only have so many skills. Like your skill set is limited, right? Like there are only so many things that you are really good at.
Yeah.
And so if there's something that you want to do beyond that, you need to be finding who's to do those things, and that's how you can grow. And yes, you're going to invest some of your money and your income into that, but investing that profit can yield a 5x 10x return if you invest it wisely. So that was, I think that really kind of pushed us into going ahead and making the jump into having that assistant. And now with the Pinterest, it's finding people who that can be what they already know what they're doing, right? Like they let somebody else worry about staying on top of how Pinterest's algorithms change and what they're looking for, because everything changes, right?
That's a huge weight off of you too. You're like, okay, I can breathe and I can focus on the fun parts, like what I really enjoy doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know whenever I first started talking to you guys about doing the masterclass, I said, what is like the main question people ask you all the time? So I'm going to ask it here so that everybody can learn from you all. How did you grow to 200,000 on Instagram in 18 months?
Yeah.
This is huge.
It was huge.
I get out pen paper now.
Yeah. So it started with that 90-day challenge that we gave each other. And
we learned that at a conference. We sat in a class and they were like, you have to be consistent. And we're like, okay, we'll do it. Because before then it was like we weren't every day.
Right. Well, and the 90 days, like we didn't just pull that out of thin air. That was they had a conference themselves with Instagram. So they sat down and learned, how does Instagram work? Well, the Instagram algorithm takes 90 days to recalibrate. And that was sort of an eye-opener for us because, and I think a lot of people fall into the trap of you try something new and you do it for a week or two and you're not seeing results and you get frustrated and you say, ugh, this doesn't work. Okay, what do I try now? And they said that
They said,
what
"Give it
they
90
learned
days."
is that it's 90 days. So 90 days of consistently doing something. So if you're not posting every day for 90 days, commit to posting every other day for 90 days.
Just something. So, I mean, that's what we did. We committed to 90 days,
Right.
posting every single day, weekends included. Honestly, weekends are some of our higher traffic days. And I know a lot of people want to take weekends off, but that's when other people aren't working and they do have the time to scroll. So maybe take a Wednesday and Thursday off, or, you know, look at your traffic and see where your audience is already before you make that decision. I mean, if you're able to, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, we just committed to those 90
And
days.
repurpose content, right? Like we had talked about, if you see that a post is doing really well, why not repost it? You know, make a few tweaks to it. Shoot that B-roll content. I think that's something that a lot of people maybe are seeing more, like that's the recommendation now more and more, is getting that B-roll content where it can just be you sitting there, sitting at your desk, drinking a cup of coffee, just doing life and providing value, with that being your video behind it, right? So,
and although we went viral for that one post, we have shared it multiple times in different ways.
Plus the exact same one, right? I mean, with just different music.
A few times, and then I've done similar posts. Some of them have done great, but most of them have gone viral again. I don't know what it is, but you're answering a question, right? Like, obviously people want an outdoor living space, and this is a super affordable, and I can't tell you the thousands of people who say just buy an outdoor TV, but I don't know if you've checked, but the prices of outdoor TVs are astronomical. So this is $100 Insignia smart TV inside a $300 plastic case. So for $400, you have an outdoor TV. So I think you're answering a question for people, or answering, solving a problem for them. And I think that we shifted our focus as well away from us. Yes, that intro video, we changed away from about us to them, but I feel like the majority of our content has also shifted that focus. It is no longer about, hey, look at my pretty home decorated for spring. It's, hey, look at these stems that I got, and you can get them too, and they're super affordable, and look how you can decorate. You need 5 stems to put in this vessel. Or
this is how you hang something, right? Like people look, another one that has done really well is your outdoor window swags at Christmas. And, just show it. People, yes, they always think that they're really pretty, but they don't know, how did you hang something from the bottom? Just showing them the how, it's pulling back that curtain and giving.
And you're thinking it's so simple, right? Like, I mean, I literally tie a piece of string on it and close the window on it. It's like, it's not difficult, but the number of people who have, and getting them to share that content too. The sharing and the saving of content, now we know with Instagram is key,
very important.
But it's just helping them and giving them the tips, rather than just, I mean, we have friends who ask us all the time, like, how did you do it? How can I do it? And we'll look at their pages, and they're beautifully curated homes, and they're showing these beautiful spaces, but that's all they're doing is, look at my beautiful home.
Right.
People want to know, how can I do that? How can I replicate that? How can I,
Yeah. I think there was a time that Instagram and Pinterest were just aspirational sources.
Yeah.
Where people consumed the content just to look at the pretty.
Right.
And now, and I think TikTok really did a lot to change that. People, shifted into wanting to know how can they get that look themselves. So if what you do, going back to the home decor, if what you do is decorate your home beautifully, well, show people that when you get a long stem, you have to fold it in half to fit it into the container, or show them that if they want to use a vessel that has a big opening, that you need to either tie them together before you put them in or put something small inside. People don't know those things, right?
And
So
you think they do, right? Like,
well, I didn't. You had done something. I was like, you gotta be kidding me! That's how you do that? Like it was the stems. Like you stuck a mason jar inside. I'm like, what? You've been holding out on me for years. I never knew that.
I think it's like getting outside of your habits, right? Like we learned at a conference about someone whose biggest post was how to melt butter or how to soften butter or something. Like it's just like a very like common sense. And you may get people who are going to give you those poor comments and be like, seriously, I've been doing this for the last 50 years. And then you get your friends on there I mean, by the people who argue for you that you've never met, but they say, well, you didn't share it and she did. Like, so, and then all of a sudden your post goes viral because people are defending the Karen who made fun of how you melted butter, or whatever
that you did it, well, duh. But a lot of things that, like taking a look at the things that you do that you think are just common knowledge, they aren't
sharing it.
They're not. I read something. This was way back, and I can't give you a source, but it said that to be an expert or to be in this field, you really only need to know 6 to 10% more than the average person about something, which feels really attainable, right? Yeah. like you just need to know a little bit more. And so, there are things that you probably do on a day-to-day basis, within what you're doing with fashion. I'm sure that you have hacks for, tucking in a shirt, right? Like I think I get sucked into seeing people who show these hacks where they like change where a button is and like, what? What? Like I had no idea that this was a thing, or
that's
right.
So true.
So
just give your audience those attainable things that
and shift your focus to be about them and not you. The other thing, being fully transparent, is using an auto reply service. So we use InstaChamp. I know ManyChat is the other big one that's out there. When you use those, that forces people to follow you to get the information. So they want whatever it is that you're sharing, and they have to follow you. So that also grows your following. You just need to be aware that if this is where the whole niching thing is so key. If you're sharing things that are outside of your niche, then some of your followers, if a post does really well, aren't going to be interested in the other things that you're sharing. So,
so we have a lot of followers who wanted that TV cover link.
Sure.
They're probably not our followers.
Right.
We have a lot of men
they're not our people
who wanted to buy that TV cover.
Right.
But they're not the people who are sending their
they're
kids
not
to
our
college.
ideal.
Yeah,
So you do want to look at that with a grain of salt. So yes, there is some vanity to that number.
Absolutely.
That number is something that you can leverage when you're negotiating with brands. But just be wary of that number, or don't put everything into that number. Right. I guess is what I'm saying. Like it's
right.
Be careful with what you grow or what you wish for.
Yeah.
Right.
Your guys' transparency. I'm the same way. I'm just like, Tell it like it is, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I don't want to take a ton more of your time. You guys are just like amazing. You are filled with so much information. I do have one last question I want to ask, just because I know I can't ask this to anybody else on the panel, but you guys. But I touch a little bit on like the PR element of things, right? Because especially with you guys having a blog in addition to Instagram and all this stuff, we're getting insane pitches every single day. So how do you guys use that to your advantage?
yeah.
We started working with a PR agency after meeting them at a conference, and we're really impressed with them. We had talked a little bit about it on it. Again, full transparency, we're not good at pitching, so we just weren't, and we just didn't know how to break into it. And sure, we had some brand collaborations that we did on our own. We still do some on our own.
But there just wasn't time, right? Like the amount of time that it takes to be pitching for a project or to be pitching a brand for something, it's a level of consistency and commitment that you need to be following up with them. And, you know, you need to pitch maybe 20 to 50 brands to get this one
area of the project or whatever.
We do have a course, Influencer Secrets does. We have a course on pitching. I am like a big advocate of pitching, but yes, it's about being smart about it and not like, it's not always about quantity, it's about quality, right?
It's about quality.
Yes.
Yeah.
And our PR, we work with Picking Daisies Media. We love their company because it is a flat monthly fee. They don't take a commission of each project that we work on with them, which we love.
Right. And we can decline anything. So I know there are a lot of PR agencies out there that when you sign, you're also committing to, you have to do whatever they give you.
Okay.
So being able to say,
not interested.
No, that looks really cheesy, or
which is and it helps us stay authentic and only promote the things we really truly like and have. So I mean, they present us the offers, we accept or pass on them, and we move from there. So they're doing all that pitching work for us, getting us the contacts, bringing us, like, she negotiates everything and tries to get us the highest, the best deal before she even presents it to us.
Right.
And then we can, you know, accept, pass, go back to her and say, okay, we'll accept this, but we'll do X, Y, and Z on the deliverables, you know, change that up. So it's been a really great experience.
Right. She has become one of our who's, right? So we recognized where one of our shortcomings was and found a who to handle that. So
what about like your pitches just for products that come in your inbox every single day? Because I know I get asked a lot of questions. Influencers will come to me and say, well, I'm getting like 15 pitches a day from this PR company. They're talking about products and this and that. I'm like, and I respond and say, you know, do you have a budget? Do you have this? And, you know, they never have a budget because PR works so differently than, you know, than just regular brand collaborations. Do you guys ignore those pitches when you get them in your inbox? Do you leverage them? Do you ever pitch back and say, hey, do you have a budget for this?
we forward them.
You forward them. Okay.
We forward them.
If we like them.
Right.
Like we look at, because some of them, it's just trash. You're like, oh.
Some of them, like, they don't even know what we do. Like, it's very obvious from the email. So they haven't really looked at our account. So anything that we like, we forward them to our PR manager, and then she negotiates the details. But other ones, we will respond to some.
Yeah. I mean, I just got a new stove because
amazing.
which was really awesome. They reached
Yeah.
out to us, and that was one where I'm more than happy to do that for product exchange, right? Like that's
Yeah.
a significant enough value. And
Totally.
so I knew what I could do and was able to, so I just negotiated that myself. And I
Right.
know you've,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, we've definitely negotiated.
yeah.
We do both. It goes through our PR company, but it also, we negotiate some on our own as well that come through.
Mhm.
There was something I was going to say along those lines
Mhm.
about the product exchange.
Mhm.
So even though she's negotiating, not everything is like we say no to if we're not getting paid. Like there are companies that we want to work with,
Mhm.
and either the value or their reputation
Mhm.
we want to get in. So you have to like know your value enough to offer them something, but then know their value
Mhm.
enough to accept just that product exchange. Or, if you're just starting out and there are products that you love, go ahead and tag them.
Mhm.
We just did a fashion haul, which is not our niche, but
Yeah.
we share some fashion sometimes, and tagged one of the products that we liked, and they reached out to us and they want to send us clothes, so
We're like, okay.
sure, like we already know we like the clothes, so we'll take some clothes, right?
Yeah.
So you just, yeah,
Mhm.
on the leverage.
Yeah.
So,
And
Yeah.
the other, like there are some brands, like we really love supporting small
mhm,
makers who
Mhm.
are within our area. So there's a woman who makes college care packages
mhm.
for specifically for girls, and it's like she has a subscription box option. We love her. Like she's just like us. She decided to do a different route to make money. So we, like, she doesn't have to pay us.
Right.
We're more than happy to just promote what she does.
Sure.
I love that. Yeah, you just kind of have to feel it out. I feel like one thing I always say is like, if I was going to spend money on it myself and they're willing to give it to me in exchange, then it's
Absolutely.
always a yes. So
Yes, absolutely.
that's really, really great advice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both so much for being here.
Very
It's
welcome.
just such a wealth of information, and I know that everybody watching is going to walk away so inspired and ready to just jump in and start making some changes in the way that they're, working their regular flow, and I love the idea of the 90-day challenge. There's so many amazing takeaways here. You both have been so valuable. I am just so excited about this, and I'm gonna wrap up there. So just thank you guys so much for being here. Goodbye to everybody watching.
Thanks so much.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.